Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. All that befalls a man, all that is done by him, all that comes from him, happens as a result of his state of consciousness. And she definitely changed hers. And that's why literally every area of her life has changed, conformed to exactly what she wants. Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you're all doing fabulous, and I hope you're all choosing to be the versions of yourself that get exactly what they want. Because I'm going to tell you right now, because we over here in the HBIC land, yes, manifesting with Kimberly's head bitch in charge land, there's been a stream of success stories, and we are going to talk about one of those today. My God. If you're new here, how you doing? I'm Kimberly, and yeah, I'm kind of always like this, and I very much am obsessed about everything there is to know about conscious manifestation, consciousness. I want to know it all. I want to know it all. I also like to get what I want, and I like to get it in a timely fashion. And if you are just like that, and you too are interested in getting what you want, well, I think you and I should be friends. So why don't you subscribe? Let me know in the comments below that you did. And if I see that comment, you will hear back from me. Because let me just say, guys, you know, dare I say I love my channel memberships. I love them. They are always a zhuzh festival, as far as I'm concerned. They are always amazing. And when the success stories come, the beauty of it is everyone's happy for that person because we love each other in these groups. I'm telling you, you don't know what you're missing. You should really consider joining the VIP, the Advanced Manifestors. That's the group that gives you access to all the groups, so you'll never miss a thing. And you'll get to hang out with like-minded people over 3 times a week. And I say over because the Advanced Manifestors get random private live streams. Yeah, we went live together for 2.5 hours and change the other day, and it was so much fun because it's like we're all together hanging in my living room. But poop, now is not the time. Now is not the time. Well, maybe she's trying to make herself pretty for you guys. So the Advanced Manifestors, that is where we deep dive conscious manifestation. We're reading all the books, all the lectures, anything that pertains to getting what you want through your mind. We entertain it. We dabble. And we're learning, sucking information that quite frankly is already within us. We're just bringing it to our awareness, right? It's already there, but that's a different conversation. That group gives you access to the exclusive lives group where what I'm about to talk about was discussed. It's one of the reasons why you think you should be in these groups, because the beautiful person who had the success story to share not only shared the success story, but also got back on. So she went in the beginning of the group, shared her success story, then later on, after we heard from other people, got back on and actually took questions from everybody. And it was wonderful because she gave all her tips and tricks, but I'm going to boil it all down for you. We're going to talk about in this video how she got what she wanted. And that VIP group gives you access to the hot seat group. And in the hot seat group is where we technically found out that there was, let's just say more successes. More successes. It's so much fun. And that's the group where you can get into the hot seat and ask me anything you want. It's not even the success story group, but I love it when they show up there. It's such a jizz. You really should check out the channel memberships. Okay, you really are missing out. I'm telling you. They are so much fun. And like I said, just like this lovely HBIC did, is she allowed people to ask her questions about what she did, how she felt while she was doing it, you know, blah, 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 how long it took, everything. You're missing out. Okay. Let's stop talking about the memberships. Let's get to the goods here. So our wonderful, beautiful head bitch in charge If you're new to my channel, that's what it means, Hbic. She was manifesting her specific person. And, she did have contact with this person. It was not her most enjoyable time. Let's just be honest. As she shared in the group, there were many times where third parties were in the equation. And I'm talking more than once. So she had more than one occasion where she was dealing with friggin' third parties. And she, struggled with getting her mind off of that. Not only that, but, seeing her person being the person that was consistently bringing in more third parties, as at the same time, she was trying to affirm or see things differently. It was a struggle. And I love it because she was honest about the struggle. Like we tried to share on this channel. And that's not to say that it always will be or that it even has to be. But sometimes it can feel that way. But we can still get what we want in the end. It didn't stop her. So I said that she was a multi-manifester. And yeah, my friend, I'm going to skip to the most important goods. And I'm calling it the most important because this is what I get asked about the most. She manifested a home outright that she does not have to pay a dime for. It was gifted to her from a family member. She got a brand new position within her company, and so therefore is now making an income which was more than what she was originally even looking for. It's giving her the chance to be able to work from home, which was something she wanted. And her specific person is now in the equation officially. No more third parties, but living with her. And the biggest thing, in my opinion, what not only did she have that difficulty of dealing with third parties, her person lived on the other side of the country. So she had distance, she had third parties, and she had her own beliefs about him, about herself. And guess what? Through all that struggle, guess what her magic moment was that really brought the change? She refused to be her old self. Does that sound familiar? If you've been around my channel a while, you'll know that that is exactly something I experienced. An absolute conviction of refusing to think and be or show up to reality as her old self. Listen to this. What you consent to can only be discovered by an uncritical observation of your reactions to life. Your reactions reveal where you live psychologically, and where you live psychologically determines how you live here in the outer visible world. Now, obviously, this beautiful person has worked with me and has watched some of my content. She's a member to the channel memberships, and she's a silent one, right? She's someone that normally keeps to herself, doesn't always get on camera or chit chat, but I just want to thank her through this video without giving away her information. Thank you. Thank you for sharing it with everyone. You really uplifted people, and probably in ways that you're not even aware of. So just wanted to say that side note to her. But listen to what I just read. This is what she applied to her life. She got to the point where she was so done with the battle, done with trying to get rid of third parties, done with tolerating not so favorable behavior from her specific person, but also at the same time had an inner knowing. Because she had focused on who she wanted to be, which was a woman who believed she was friggin' worthy and deserving of a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. So she took to scripting. She really thought about what she wanted her life to look like. She really thought about, a new version of her specific person. And that is one of the main keys that she did share in the group and wanted everyone to know. That is something that she also struggled with. And this is why I read that passage. You see, we are not punished per se when we have our emotional reactions. It's okay to have our emotions and feelings. Again, if you're not new to my channel, you know I say this. But when you're really done with not getting what you want in 3D reality, and you're really determined to experience the life you friggin' are now aware of that you're worthy of, right? She shifted that belief about herself. But see, the key was having to change what she thought about her person and having to put out of her mind how he used to be, the things he used to do. Most importantly, the bringing in third parties. She knew that my focusing on this is not going to help bring in a version of him that I want. And she was tired. She felt like she had been doing this a while. She was tired of the time. She was tired of waiting. She was feeling probably everything that you're feeling. If you're manifesting a specific person, whether you have contact or not, I'm sure you've had the moments where you realize you're just sick and tired of not living the life you want, not getting the things you want, and you know damn well you deserve them. Well, then, just like her, it's time. It's time to start looking at, for real, how do you react and respond to reality? And I use both words because we might not always be having emotional reactions, doing things in reality, but we're still responding in here. We're still reacting in here. We got to deal with, why am I doing that? Why do I believe what I believe about my specific person? You got to ask yourself the questions so you can see through the veil of why you believe what you believe. Because what you really are, who you really are, is consciousness. Shapeless, formless, nameless consciousness. She doubled down. She remembered me saying, I refuse to be old self. She really got honest with herself in why she let certain things bother her, why it upsets her. And she stood in conviction. She got disciplined on what she thought about when she thought about her person. She doubled down and got disciplined with seeing him as the man she knew he could be. Someone loving, someone faithful, someone loyal to her, and who wanted the same things she did. And guess who, had a turnaround and decided he couldn't be without her, and who has moved to the other side of the country to be with her. And that's exactly what she experienced. And as much as I think she is beautiful and wonderful, she's not special. Meaning she's not more special than you watching. She didn't have a magic power that you don't have access to. She didn't write the rules of how to manifest. She got real with herself and who she was identifying as every single day, and did her best from her understanding of what that means to stop being an old version of herself and stand in the decision that you are who you say you are, and no longer allowing the mind to pull her in directions that were no longer serving her, that were telling a story that no longer served her. And reality did exactly what it's supposed to do. It started rearranging and bringing her a match to who she was being. And this is how this works. And I know there are probably over 1 million, if not more, videos on how to manifest out there. And I know it can get overwhelming and confusing. Well, I'm telling you, you don't need any more. This is how to do it. You take an authentic look of what are you truly allowing yourself to think and believe about what you're manifesting. You don't even have to be manifesting a specific person. And this is how to manifest whatever it is you're manifesting. What do you really authentically believe about the subject? Health, wealth, beauty, and genius are not created. They are only manifested by the arrangement of your mind. That is, by your concept of yourself. And your concept of yourself is all that you accept and consent to as true. We got to get out of the conditioning of believing that if I lived something, if I believe I physically live something in 3D reality, then that must be true because I actually lived it. We're all guilty of this. We all do it. You could probably tell me a life history. And what you're doing is you're pulling from memories that you believe you physically lived. And while I'm not here to argue those memories with you, what I'm telling you is you have the option, because you are consciousness, you have the option to no longer accept or consent to be true for you anymore. You don't have to accept and believe that because you've had a string of failed relationships, or maybe because you've had a string of zero contact with your person, that makes you a special, unique case that can't get the person. You've got to stop consenting to that history is true. Now, in one respect, it doesn't matter if you choose to not revise certain experiences. It's not. But it does matter what you believe about them. Meaning, do you believe they're holding you back? Do you believe that they are in some way preventing you from getting your desire? And if you do, if you know that you're thinking that, that's got to go. It's time to really start seeing yourself as the conscious awareness that you are, so that you can start living the life you want. And I just want to say, trust me, on more than one occasion, she thought to herself, maybe I'm just a fool for believing I could manifest. Maybe I am just an idiot who wanted so desperately to believe manifestation was true. And, I'm just like another person not getting what they want. Maybe I've been a fool. I think everyone has felt like that at least once on their journey. I know damn well I did. I know I did. But let me be that person to tell you, it is real. It is real. You are not experiencing things in reality by mere chance or mere coincidence. They are happening because of the arrangement of what? Of what you believe about yourself. What you accept and consent to as true for you. And I know, because I've had lots of conversations along my coaching career, that there are some of us that are so damn adamant that we've been in the state. I would like to really quell this for you. I'm in a good mood, so I'm relating that to I am in the state. But if you know damn well you're still looking at reality as it's not working, it's not happening, then that is not the wish fulfilled. It isn't. Because listen, keeping it real, she was someone too that wondered, why isn't this changing? Why isn't this happening? So from her understanding, what made sense to her, she simply said, I'm not thinking about this anymore. I am not going to keep thinking about this. I'm going to have to do my best, but I'm just going to live my life. I'm going to stop worrying. I'm going to give myself a chance to think, I've done enough. That was also a key thing. She decided she did enough. She scripted out what she wanted. She really defined what she wanted, how she wanted her life to look and feel, how she wanted him to show up and treat her. And then she was done worrying. She was done telling the story. When is this going to change? Will this ever change? What am I going to do if this doesn't change? She's just stopped. She said, enough. Enough. I've done enough to manifest this. I'm done. I'm just going to live my life. I believe what she said was 2 weeks later. Boom, 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 boom. The floodgates of change in her reality. Now, I'm not trying to tell anybody in this video because I'm going to keep it real. I don't know when your manifestation is going to come. No one can tell you that. And anybody that does tell you that, I'm sorry, they're a fraud. Strong words, but it's the truth. No one knows. No one can tell you that because his ways are not our ways. As in his universe, God, higher power, source, energy, moonbeams. His ways are not ours. Okay? Universe, again, God, higher power, source, energy, subconscious mind has the best and most effortless way for your manifestation to come. And I know it doesn't always feel like it's effortless. I know it doesn't. It didn't for me. But when the manifestation when it had come, it did make sense. I'm telling you, you're going to experience it too. And I brought up earlier that the idea of thinking you're in the state, she had those moments too, where she was convinced she was in the state. But she also could realize, you know what? No, I wasn't. I thought I was, but I know now I wasn't. Because when she made this shift, I refuse to be my old self. I refuse to worry about this anymore. I refuse to do it. I am not thinking about this anymore. I am not going to try to manifest this person anymore. I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to live my life. That was her true shift. That is what moved her to her new self. And she didn't entertain any more garbage from the past. She was done. And that's what finally allowed it to show up in reality. And I'm going to tell you right now, it will happen for you too. But I've said this before. You can't outrun your own higher self. You cannot run away from consciousness. You can't outrun it. Authentically ask yourself, what do you really think and believe about what you're manifesting? Do you believe it's possible that you can manifest it? Do you believe you can have it? If you're manifesting love, do you believe you could receive love? Could you? Could you believe it if your person showed up and said that they were head over heels in love with you? Would you believe that? And I know some of you just said no. I would doubt it. That's okay, because that's how I answered the question too. No. Actually, my download moment was when I was thinking, there's never going to be enough times that he could tell me he loved me. It will never fully satisfy. I will never truly believe it. And that sounds negative, but it was a beautiful moment for me because I realized that's the paradox here. Those of us who are waiting for things to show up, those of us who feel like we're struggling with reality, it is because we are waiting for that reality to fulfill us. We are waiting for something out here to get better, to change, in order for us to feel better. And that's the bullshit. That's the paradox. You got to move out of that. You got to move out of that thinking. Stop waiting. Start being. Well, how do I be? Like I have said countless times, you sincerely ask yourself, what do you think it would feel like to have your desire? Try this. Think of having side-by-side screens. And on the one screen, bring up your old self. On the other, think about the self you are now. What's the difference between the two? The version of you that first found manifestation, who first started manifesting whatever it is you're manifesting. We'll use specific person as the example. The you who for the very first time said, I'm going to manifest my specific person, compared to the you now. See if you see the differences between the two. And you should see some differences, I hope. When you've seen the differences, good, you're ready to move on. Erase. On this screen, see yourself as you currently are. And on the other screen, see the you who has the desire. Don't worry about having a perfect picture. Just thinking about how you would think. How you think now versus how you thought when you first started. It's good enough. Now see the version of you that has it. Think about that version of you. What's the differences between the you are right now versus that version of yourself? Outside of the obvious answer that, well, she has or he has the manifestation. There, that's the difference. No. You're looking and thinking about how that version of you would show up and interact and live in their reality. Find the differences between the two. And then there you go. That's what you're reaching for. See, we could do this simply. We'll do it by me. When I first started the journey on this screen as a very angry, sad version of myself who didn't believe I was worth shit. Definitely didn't think anyone was actually going to choose me and definitely not love me, and doubted everything. Now, on the other side, this version of me. I know my worth. I know what I deserve. I can receive love. I can trust that my person loves me. There are huge differences between myself and that version of me. Huge. I think, literally think, like a completely different person because I am. So ask yourself, what would be the difference? How would that version of you show up? Do you think that version of you would be worried about the next text or call? Do you think that version of you would be worried about when you're going to see the person again? Do you think that version of you would be putting their life on hold and not allowing themselves to be happy? No, that version of you is walking around with such confidence, such absolute knowing that life is amazing and life's only going to keep getting more amazing. I've shared before that when the fullness of my relationship manifested, and it really was what I had always wanted, I remember having so many moments of feeling like, this is freaking surreal. How did I get here? How did I get here? How can this be my life? It was so wonderful. Now it feels like my normal. But in the beginning, it felt I was on top of the world. I couldn't believe it was my life. I wanted to scream out at the rooftops, holy shit, I did it. I did it. I did it. Such excitement, such surrealness. It's exactly how she felt and is still feeling right now. Like, this is surreal. I cannot believe it. I can't believe it's here. I can't believe I did it. And I'm going to tell you, you deserve the same experience. And you can have it. And there's nothing in the way of you having it other than your own mind. Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are other causes than his own state of consciousness. All that befalls a man, all that is done by him, all that comes from him, happens as a result of his state of consciousness. A man's consciousness is all that he thinks and desires and loves, all that he believes is true and consents to. That is why a change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. Who are you? What do you consent to as being true for you? What are you worthy and deserving of? And are you showing up like you actually buy into that? Are you seeing and perceiving reality as it is absolutely rearranging itself to give you what you want? Or are you still asking, where is it? Why isn't it here yet? Why is it happening this way? Take a look at what you really think and believe, just like she did. And start doubling down that you refuse to think like your old self did. That you stand in conviction of the who you are. And remember, who you really are first is what? Source. Consciousness. Unadulterated consciousness. Therefore, no conditions, no shitty beliefs. Yes, you can hop from where you are right now into exactly who you want to be. It just needs your permission. Your permission. Not the universe, not God, not anybody, but you. That's how reality changed, and that's how hers changed. Another beautiful Hbic success story. She got her stuff. She got lots of different things. And you can too. Do what she did. She scripted what she wanted. She stood in conviction of who she is. And she refused to be her old self. And that's why she's living a dream life right now. And feeling like every moment is friggin' surreal. And I know she's telling the truth. Because I had the same experience. Well, maybe not exactly. I wasn't manifesting the other things that she was manifesting. But as far as that love department, it was the same. And it was surreal. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.